our first application to use a VLOOKUP other than the just straightforward recording of the VLOOKUP or looking up values is that we're going to use it in a fixed scale. A fixed scale, the example, is in this grey area over here. Let's say a company pays commission based on the following sales. So if I'm a sales rep and I sell a certain amount and it falls in these brackets, then I get 4%. Or a percentage or relevant percentage. If I sell less than R1,000, between 0 and 1,000, I get 1% commission. If I sell between 1 and 2,000, I get 2%. More than 2 to 3%. Everything more than 3,000, you get 4% commission. For example, if I sold 2,500, I fall into this bracket, and I should earn 3%. Do you agree? So my commission works out to 2,500 times 3%, which is 75 Rand. If I had a calculator, that's what I would do. 2.5 times 3%. But sometimes there's also an Excel solution for the same. Excel solution has two parts. A VLOOKUP table, so you're creating a table so that you can use a VLOOKUP to find the values, and a formula. Now, what does a VLOOKUP table look like? A VLOOKUP table should indicate the start of each bracket. On what exact number does each bracket start? This one, let me just write a line this. These brackets start exactly on 0, 1001, 2001, 3001. That's the start value. We are going to use true VLOOKUPs because you cannot have a table for every single individual sales Rand that everybody sells. Then you will have a long, long table. And it won't work, because if you sell anything that reaches the end of the Excel table, more than that, you can't get commission. If you use the fixed false VLOOKUP. But we want to use a true VLOOKUP, meaning that for anything that between 0 and 1,000 Rand, you are going to get 1% commission. So what does a VLOOKUP do? Let's say I sell 1,000 Rand on the dot. A true VLOOKUP will move down the column, get to 1,001, see 1,000 is not there, move back to that, and can give you the 1%. Right. So I can find 1% by using a VLOOKUP if I have these brackets defined. What do I need to find? I have the 2,500 because I'm going to use that as input value, so I just need the percentage as a VLOOKUP. In other words, sales of 2,500 in this table will find 3,000, see 2.5 is not there, jump back and give me the 3%, and that's exactly what I want. So my commission will be then the blue value 2.5 times VLOOKUP, the blue value in that table, given the second column true. So to get a solution for a fixed scale, you need to properly define your table, and you need to define the bottom ranges of each bracket. The bottom ranges of each bracket, where each one starts, on what exact value this starts. On that Rand, that is your VLOOKUP values. The percentages relevant to those values goes right next to it. You don't need this column in it at all. You only need this column and you need that column, because you only need the 3%. So start, on what bracket does each one start, and the percentage relevant for that bracket next to it. And you use it in this formula, which is exactly the same as that one. In which cell is the 2,500? In B23. And then how do I get the 3%? That 3%, I use a vlookup of B23 inside my table that I created. Give me the second column, definitely true. And that gets me my 75 rand.